Hit that like and sub button, it means a lot. If you want to follow my Twitch, it is in the description of the video. Apologize for the PlayStation thing popping up. If it pops up, last time I checked, it actually did it, so I don't know if it is that time or not. It just does that while I'm streaming, but I'm not streaming right now. Anyways, make sure to hit that like and sub button, it means a lot. So I haven't really made a video like this in kind of a while. Um, it's not about updating anything though. I want to stick with a certain type of conversation that I think needs to be talked about and kind of go more in depth because when I made a lot of the family stuff videos and stuff, uh, or maybe not just the family stuff, but like the videos talking about my past and like school and things like that, um, that has, always been made just to vent about it, but not to really go into very much detail. And I think that this is what this is going to be. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do, other than I'm gonna go uh, name by name, not their real names. So you know, um, I made names up, and I wrote them down and everything. You can't even see it, but I wanted to make sure. Let me turn my phone off. I wanted to make sure that you guys, obviously don't know the names. I'm sure people like my everyday might know them, or just friends of mine probably know them that watch this video, or things like that. But anyways, I'm gonna be making up names. I'm going to, for my very first relationship to my last, I will not be talking about people I've talked to, like in between relationships, if I was like meeting with somebody new and then it just didn't work out. I'm not talking about that. We're gonna only go in depth on relationships to look at it from an outside kind of way, to really analyze everything I did wrong that, could have been better perceived. And the reason why I'm mainly doing this is so that other people don't feel the way I have felt like throughout my life in many different ways. Um, and up first, this is my first real relationship. Well, not real relationship. It was, I was just young, really young. I think I was like maybe like 10. I was really young. I might be wrong about that age, but I think that's generally the right age. Um, Around there at least. And well, we're gonna be talking about. We'll name her Bailey. Anyways, we're not gonna really say the name much anyway, but that is what we're gonna go with. If we do. Anyways, she was definitely not really. I don't. When I look back, I really don't see myself being like a bad person in the relationship at all. Uh, for example, when we broke up, I was depressed. I remember this now. This is where it turns for the worst. I was like really sad, like really fast in my life, and looking back, I think this is my first time I've really been like ever been like really depressed. And the other word that we can't say. Um, and it sucked. Also, this is a necklace from Seek Discomfort. I was just wearing it, but just to cope with my ADHD and stuff like that, because I get distracted, as you can tell. Anyways, I remember we broke up, and I was very depressed, right? Um, and I also was talking um to like friends and stuff, right? And my friend had let's just say he decided to go with my ex, and actually they ended up being in a relationship, um which sucked. But I didn't know that at the time. When she came back to me and said, "Oh, I missed you. I'm sorry, blah blah blah," right? And then about a day later broke up with me, said it was a joke. And that's when it got worse, because like instantly, I'm basically feeling like I'm the joke. I'm a joke. And then like with everything else going on in my life that I don't want to get too much into because there's other things for that and videos for that that I just don't want to re-talk about again and again. Um, but I remember that, and I remember how they laughed at me, and I was in pain and I was in hurt, and it like even now I'm remembering it, and it actually still hurts me. And I mean, I think that's another reason why I'm making this video is to really talk about it, in like I said, in more detail than I really did previously. Um, and I don't think I even mentioned all of it. I think I mentioned a little bit, but not too much. I've talked about some of this stuff on stream when I was coming up with the idea of making these videos, but the reason why I really make these videos is because of other people. I don't want other people to feel the same way that I did, and there are people that go through the same stuff that end up not really being good people, and I think if they're more educated on the problems, that they can get better, and, that's I really believe that. I really do. Um, but anyways, back to the thing. I've been really, um, I've been dealing with these thoughts for a while. Like thinking about like different things, and not necessarily in like, oh, I miss these people, because I don't. I really don't. There's sometimes some people I might miss, but there's not like I don't miss all of them or anything like that. Um, there is one specific person that I do miss on the list. I'll get to that later because that's going to be in a separate video, I think. Just because I don't want this video to be too long. Because I want to record a bunch of them and just kind of put them in a playlist and release them one at a time. Because they're very deep videos and they're going to be too long if I just mash them all together. But I'm going to talk about some of them and then move on to bigger things. Now, we're going to talk about this other person. I didn't make up a name for them because I didn't date them, but we're going to call them, frick, I don't know actually. I'm trying to think. I apologize. Um, we're gonna call them Lucy. I don't know. Um, anyways, Lucy and me were had a crush on her in my 5th grade up to my 7th grade. But I mean, I did still like her afterwards. I just didn't really try anymore. Okay, but let me go back to 5th grade. Dated my best friend. I had very bad choice in friends, to be honest. I mean, then again, if you guys like each other, go for it, right? But at the same time, they really he at least he didn't, and shit happened. I won't go into details, but things happened, and it was not okay. What he did, and I'm glad that he doesn't even live around the area anymore, so that's good. But he's not my friend anymore. But in my wait, why is this happening? In my 6th grade year, me and her were like really close. But we still never really acted upon it, and like I didn't. 7th grade, I don't really have a story, but anyways, back to what I was saying. We would just do like really small, cute things, like human contact type things. So like, we'll like lock legs underneath the desk or whatever, where we're like just kind of like intertwine, if that makes sense, with our like legs or whatever. And I remember how like we would be a lot closer physically, like walking, like if we're talking to each other and things like that. And I remember back and I honestly thought something might have happened, but I didn't do anything to perceive anything or ask anything, like what I should have asked. Like, for example, maybe there was a dance coming up or something, and I should have asked that. And I think that was a problem back then, really hard for me because confidence was not. a strong suit of mine growing up, obviously. Dealing with like all the other shit I deal with has always been a problem and an issue for me. Mostly because of everything in my life that I have going on, bad friends, bad relationships in the past, or bad friendships, family, all this other stuff that really kind of combined into the main problem, which I don't really know what that was other than my confidence, so, or at least in this point in time. Um, but yeah, I remember being really, not very confident, and I would keep trying in relationships, but nothing ever seemed to work out, which unfortunate, like throughout my life, it's unfortunate, but it's it's all right. It hurts. It really does. Like looking back, not necessarily at the past, but just or not. I mean, obviously looking at the past, but not missing the past, just remembering it. It does hurt. It does. Um, I'll be honest with there. It still hurts sometimes, just depending on what it is. And the reason why is because of the future is perceived by the past. Like the past repeats type of thing, where it really does. um, but anyways, what is another person I can talk about that I have not dated, but um is a smaller person that has impacted my life in some way that I was in a relationship with. Um, Honestly, like yeah, there's other people I've been in relationships with that were like smaller relationships that I am not gonna mention on separate videos because honestly, not worth it. Or even people I just talked to. And I'm not talking about recently yet. I'm still going through my list, but yeah, there's really not that many people. There's people I've broken up with and been broken up with. Most of my relationships I was broken up with, and I think like more recently throughout the years I've been breaking up with other people more than people have been breaking up with me, which sucks to that. Like I don't like hurting people. I really don't. I It makes me kind of hurt that I've, hurt people before. Um, Romantically or things like that because I don't want other people to feel that, but at the same time I know that I need to find, like, if I'm going to eventually fall in love, I'm going to have to find that person for me, and that's not going to be the person that I break up with. And yes, that's unfortunate for them, and I understand how it feels, you know probably more than a lot of people actually. um because there are people that break up and just whatever, and then there's me who deals with the pain in a very emotional way, and it's not really my fault that I'm emotional necessarily. Like, I mean, I do like having emotions. I really do. Being very emotional is it sucks at points, sure, but I do like being that emotional person. Um, it just really hurts sometimes, um, when I have to break up with somebody, because that's another thing I don't have confidence for is breaking up with somebody. It's very hard for me to do so, in a diff in a lot of um in a lot of ways, and that sucks. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's the end of this video. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that sub button, comment if you ever like need help with anything or need to talk or anything. I apologize, background noise, but anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching.